Hello and welcome to this episode of Bullseye, my weekly deep dive into issues that matter, issues that are important to Goa and Goans, and issues that bring you clarity from clutter. This is Ink Goa, and I'm Shujai Gupta.
Brother. Mallikarjuna Kharge ji and Rahul Gandhi and Congress leadership nominated Girish Chodankar as the PCC president. We know his integrity. We know his honesty. He is not a newcomer. Last 25-30 years he is working in this party from different level. We know who is Girish Chodankar. You can give any allegation. Anybody can put allegation. But we know that he is one of the gem of the honesty person in this party.
Last week, the Congress royalty from the AICC came calling in the form of Mr. KC Venugopal, the all-important General Secretary organization. He had come here to do some firefighting because the Congress obviously has a lot of internal fires burning at this point of time. But did he come here to ultimately succeed in doing that firefighting, or did he cause more fires, or did he light more fires? And also, this is important because, post the appointment of Girish Chodankar as the GPCC chief, the party itself seems to have completely imploded into various factions, with disgruntlement, speaking out against different sections of the party, using social media platforms to take pot shots. All of this has come out in the open, and the Congress, far from presenting a united front, has actually right now displaying a party that is moving in various directions. Now, the reason why we are doing this significant episode is also because of the manner in which Mr. Venugopal conducted himself. The manner in which he responded to questions at the press conference. The manner in which he spoke to the media and the tone in which he spoke to the media. And all of this must be kind of questioned, must be confronted with. And at the same time, larger questions that need to be asked to Mr. Venugopal and the Congress will also be asked, because he very charitably said that we are here to answer questions. So if that is the case, then we will present to him, Goa will present to him some real questions. Now, Mr. Venugopal gave vent to his frustration at being asked repeated questions about his blue-eyed boy, the GPCC chief, Mr. Girish Chodankar. And he was asked about Girish, he was asked about defections, earlier defections of the party. But he responded to this with arrogance. Not only that, he was so frustrated and so upset that he started lambasting the media for not asking questions to Narendra Modi. Now, where did Narendra Modi come into this scenario? We don't know yet. But it came out in his frustration. Of course, one has to be charitable to Mr. Venugopal. He is General Secretary organization after all. And he was brought in by gem of a person, quote unquote, Girish, to stamp his authority here and get a cast in stone endorsement of Girish's appointment. He came here for that. This visit was also supposed to be a celebration of Chodankar's coronation, as it were, and the sidelining of the Amit Patkar group. This was a clear agenda as it seemed. But Mr. Venugopal did not expect such a strong backlash. He did not expect tough questions being asked by grassroots party workers. And it is clear that grassroots party workers and some leaders even wanted clear answers on the manner in which Amit Patkar was removed as GPCC president and put into the sidelines. Because Patkar, everybody said, the main narrative was Patkar was removed without any courtesy and without any decency. It was not about why Girish was selected. Mind you, please note this. It was only about the decency and the courtesy factor. And the reaction was was of complete frustration and complete anger. Because these uncrowned Rajas do not like questions. They only want obedience and they only want compliance. And that is what came out. In a democratic party, workers are heard. Unhappy voices are understood. They find a parking space. They find empathy. People need solace. But what they got was the high command has decided and you have no right to ask anything further. But then, because of this frustration, did this give Mr. Venugopal the right to tell the media that your agenda is very, very clear for asking questions about defections and about the removal of the GPCC president?
Whether you will ask the question to the Narendra Modi ji, whether he will sit here like you. You have to, this media, fourth estate people should understand that. If there is no democracy in this country, media will not have any role in this country. Now the country's situation is like that. BJP, Narendra Modi using ED, Election Commission, IT, CBI, everything they are misusing. They are trying to destroy the democracy of this country. Therefore, in democracy, at least you people have to ask, you can ask question to us. We will answer to you. But at the same time, at least ask some question on Chief Minister also. Every day he is looting the land. Every day he is looting the land. You people have to ask some question to the Chief Minister. Because for the people of this Goa, media has the right. You can ask the question to us. You are now asking about the Girish Chodankar. Biggest looters of Ayodhya. You are not asking. Looters of Ayodhya temple. You are not asking to them. Poor Girish. Somebody is telling something else. You are asking. Your agenda is very clear also. Your agenda also very clear.
What exactly did he mean by this? That the media in Goa has an agenda? If so, what is that agenda and prove it? Because does this attitude towards the media happen only when tough questions are asked? When your blue-eyed boy's induction and the removal of Amit Patkar is questioned. And it's not questioned by the media so much, it's being questioned by your own party. So why are you unleashing your frustrations against your own party on the media because the media is asking those questions? Does he expect the media, the Goan media, to do what the entire national and international media has failed to do, except one lady reporter in the US who managed to get a question to Mr. Modi? Does he expect the Goan media to do what nobody has done? Ask Mr. Modi questions because Mr. Modi does not take questions. Now, does Mr. Venugopal think that Mr. Modi is waiting with a cup of tea for the Goan media to come and ask him questions? So when that happens, we will respond. Now, we agree that the Goan media has a lot of room to improve, to be more aggressive, to be more soul-searching, to be more questioning. And there needs to be an introspection even within the Goan media. But it doesn't need advice on journalism from a seasonal General Secretary of the Congress who comes here once in a while. And that too, when he realized that his chosen appointee was being questioned. And speaking of agenda, he must ask some questions, he must answer some questions on this very topic of agenda. Because I'll go ahead and ask some questions about the agenda that the Congress has or Mr. Venugopal may have. Because he said the press has the right to ask questions, we are only exercising that right, or I'm only exercising that right. Question number one, how did you feel so entitled to ask the Goan media these kind of questions about its agenda? Why don't we ask what your agenda was when you got defectors from the BJP to join the Congress in the 2022 elections just because they could guarantee you some seats? For instance, Michael Lobo and his wife and others, and other people that he got. What was your agenda? So this is important. And then, what was your agenda? Because ultimately these leaders upped the ante, got up and immediately left the party, literally pointing a finger at you, ditching the party and moving out. Now, you as the General Secretary organization in 2022, did you take accountability for this? Who will take accountability except just blaming the defectors? And don't blame the BJP, because that is what the BJP does. The BJP is tainted because of this. So do you think you have the right to do the same thing that the BJP does? Of getting defectors? You got defectors from the BJP into the Congress and they left you and went away. Why didn't you build the party? You got these people to contest elections and give you seats, but why didn't you build the party so that grassroots workers could contest, not hired people from other parties? And then you gave a defector, Michael Lobo, the leader of the opposition post, and you have the leader of the opposition ditching you and going away. No, these were black days for the Congress. Did you hold yourself accountable, and what did you do? If you did not, then what is your agenda? That is my question. Second question. The charge of tickets being sold in Tamil Nadu was made by your own MP and not anybody else. It was certainly not made by the media. The media only reported it. So what is the story? And what is the reason why you rose to the defense of Girish Chodankar like a protector, almost with a sword in your hand, and then question the media for daring to ask you about him? We have not heard Mr. Venugopal being so effusive and so protective of even Rahul Gandhi. Has he ever said Mr. Rahul Gandhi is a gem of a person? So if you have made such a praise, do share with us. Secondly, if you are the General Secretary, AICC General Secretary in charge of the organization, is it becoming of you to almost target one faction of the party and gun for them, rather than playing the role of a friend, philosopher and guide to the entire party? It was clear from his body language and others that Amit Patkar was treated like an absolute pariah. Why can't your former president be treated with dignity and respect, and other people who are also asking questions? Were you here as a firefighter, or were you here to douse the fires inside the Congress? Because Shamila Siddiqui, the head of your social media cell, former head of your social media cell, who was suspended, has now publicly put out a detailed account of what happened on July 4th, 2026, when she sought to meet you during your visit to Goa. She says in a long tweet, which is also posted on Facebook, that she came with a delegation because the issues arising out of the sudden change in the Goa Congress leadership were interconnected. She said that the delegation be requested to meet Mr. Venugopal, but Mr. Venugopal insisted that only one-on-one meetings would be allowed and asked her, why a group? When she explained that they wanted to present their concerns together, you apparently said, or you allegedly asked, you want to create a noise? This is what you told Shamila Siddiqui. She further says that when you mentioned that 2 suspended persons in the delegation would also be meeting him, Mr. Venugopal actually asked who they were, and she said one of them is me. And then when you asked why she was suspended, she said it was because she questioned Amit Patkar and why he was removed as the Goa Congress president in such an unceremonious manner. Your answer, according to her, was that Amit Patkar already knew that he was going to be removed. But even then, her question was not merely about removal, but about the manner of removal. Could it have been handled with more dignity? Why could it not have been handled more gracefully? As she pointed out, and that is exactly what the answer that she wanted. Now, instead of answering that question, you allegedly asked, who was Amit before becoming Goa Congress president? What was that supposed to mean? Was that supposed to mean, Shamila asks, that because Amit Patkar was elevated by the High Command, he had no right to dignity when he was removed by the High Command? And then when Shamila asked the most basic question, If Amit Patkar was performing well, why was he removed so abruptly? Your response, according to her, was, are you questioning the Congress president's decision? And then came the words, allegedly, your words, get out, I don't want to talk to you. So let me ask you directly, Mr. Venugopal. Did you tell Shamila Siddiqui to get out? Did you say, I don't want to talk to you? And is this how a AICC General Secretary organization speaks to a woman leader, a minority leader, a grassroots worker, a former state social media coordinator, and somebody who says she stood by the Congress during its most difficult times? And if her account is wrong, will you deny it publicly? But if her account is correct, will you also apologize publicly? Then what is most important is, I was talking about defections, people coming in from other parties leaving the Congress. And I spoke about accountability. There are two black letter days, July 10, 2019, when the first batch of defections happened, when 10 MLAs defected, and September 14, 2022. These are two black letter days. When these two black letter days are hanging on your head, how can you give confidence to the people and give them a guarantee that this third event will not happen? Will the Congress get third time lucky? And if it will, then we need to know how. Then, of course, we heard that you are insisting on meeting everybody one-to-one. That is fine. That is your prerogative. But one would like to know, why are you uncomfortable meeting people in groups? Why didn't you meet the newly elected Zilla Parishad members who contested and hard-fought battles, giving Congress victory in constituencies where the Congress does not have MLAs? And these victories were done when the previous GPCC president was in charge. Or did you not meet them because of that? Then, next question. The former party treasurer who managed the finances for the Congress party, Mr. Orville Dorad, had resigned from the party. Why was this not made public? Why do we not know why he resigned? This is a simple question. Now we come to the questions about formations of this new Congress that has been formed or attempted to be formed. Now, your GPCC president had advance notice of this new Congress being formed, with 1,000 crores apparently being earmarked by the BJP to fund this party. How did your GPCC president know about the secrets of the BJP and about the fundings of the BJP? This is indeed strange, isn't it? Now that is what is interesting. What does this indicate? This inside knowledge, insider trading as it's called. Moreover, when you yourself said anybody can come and form a party, why are we interested? Then why was your GPCC president interested? This is all we want to know. Also, when you speak of agendas and when you speak of all these things, are you also absolutely sure, and that is the next question, that some gems, other gems in your party are not being controlled by the ruling party? Will you seriously check if one leader not too long ago had boasted that he has 100 crores and he can fund 10 candidates on his own? Will you check that, please? And many workers allege that those who can fund candidates on their own or can select money-heavy candidates to contest on their own get a lot of importance in your party. Is that correct? We need to know. Next question. Now, with giving responsibilities to people, you recently announced your 4th working president. But when it comes to Amit Patkar, your comment was that all these things are not decided in press conferences. Fair enough. But forget the press. Is any discussion happening at all? Don't bother about the media, but is any discussion happening at all of giving responsibility to a person who yourself said has performed really well? In the appointment letter of Girish, you had one line about Amit Patkar. We just need to know. And then you recently suspended 2 lady members. One was Shamila Siddiqui, another was Manisha Usgaonkar. Now, has any inquiry been constituted to find out or to accept their show cause notice or to decide whether the suspension is okay or not okay, because suspension is not the final punishment. It's a pause before an inquiry is held. So is any inquiry being held at all? If not, then what was the suspension all about? We need to know. Now finally, with regard to an alliance with Vijay Sardesai, Mr. Venugopal very sweetly said it's a secret. Fine, it can be a secret. It can be a secret from the media. But should it also be a secret from Vijay Sardesai, whom you are supposedly talking to? When you share a secret with two people and not share it with the third person, at least the second person should know, because you are supposedly sharing a secret with the second person and the third person do not know. But to the best of our knowledge, Sardesai is not aware of any talks happening as of now. We may be wrong, you may contradict this, but this is Sardesai's position as of now.
All the secret things cannot be revealed in the press conferences. How can the strategy which we are going to adopt in this election, alliances, discussion, merger, this all things will be discussed in the room, and we will let you know the appropriate time. Strategy cannot be revealed to you people nowadays. How can it be?
So, yes, the opposition's job is to oppose, and that is your job. The media's job is to ask questions, and that is what we are doing. When the opposition hasn't been able to clear doubts that a section of your party are being controlled like puppets by the BJP, that perception has to be changed. Have you done anything to change that perception? And it must begin by not allowing your party to break. One did not get any confidence, as according to people who spoke to us, from those who are upset about you and the way the leadership is functioning, that there was any attempt to actually join and heal. What was witnessed that day, according to them, was just the opposite, where the attempt was to isolate and not to bring together. Because do understand that you cannot build a party by being arrogant. You cannot build a party by isolating people. Because this is not the time, Mr. Venugopal, for you to tell people to get out. This is the time for people to get in. And when you analyze your performance, and we will conclude by this, when you analyze your performance or the meetings that you had in that one day or couple of days in that 5-star hotel in Donapaula, where each room costs 15 to 20,000 rupees, where you sat and held court for the sake of the party, of course. Did you fight the fires within your party, or did you end up lighting more fires? Thank you so much.